Good morning. We're just gonna do another day in life vlog. I really truly feel like I am struggling. I'm having a very difficult time, honestly. I feel like when all of this first happened, like my first couple of like get my life together vlogs, I was so positive and I was applying for all these jobs and all of this stuff. But the truth is that I am not feeling that way anymore. I am feeling very lost, exhausted, even though I feel like I have no reason to be exhausted. And I'm feeling very, very, very extremely unsure as to where my life is going to take me at this point. I think that I just never have been through a period where I didn't know what I wanted to do. I would usually say that I'm a very determined person, but I think that comes with once I figure out what I want to do, I'm like, okay, there's no other option. Like, this is what I'm going to do because this is what I want to do. I honestly just don't know what it is that I want to do at this point, and I feel like it's a really hard place to be, and I feel like I'm just going to have to try something and go from there, even though I don't feel, it's just, I feel like I'm at a point where my heart is like not 100% in anything, in the sense of like a career or a job. It's just been very hard. Even just like getting up in the morning, I'm just like, what am I doing? What am I supposed to be doing? This is not fun. I feel like I need to be working right now, but I haven't heard back from any jobs, and it's just been quite challenging, quite difficult. I feel like my mindset has not been great. And I know I said in my last vlog, I've been trying to start off every morning with those Mel Robbins sayings, and I still have been trying to do that, but I just find myself, like, I feel very emotional all the time. Like, even right now, I feel like I could cry if I could cry. I wasn't really expecting this to be happening. Obviously, I was supposed to be, off in Spain right now teaching. I'm trying to be chill about it. I'm trying to be calm about it, but it's really, really hard for me to be calm about it when I feel like my whole life I've just been so busy and always like looking to the next thing, like what is it that I want to do, and like I've always had a plan and I've always known. And although I do have my short-term plan of going to Bali to get my yoga teacher certification, and I am excited about that, I just feel this impending, not doom, but like just a weight on me that's like, I'm excited to go, but I'm also so nervous for when I come back. I don't know if you guys will relate to this, but I feel like ever since living abroad and living in Europe specifically, it's just really hard for me to feel so like independent. And so I don't know, when I was in Europe I just felt like free, and I felt so much more like myself. And really, like, when people ask me, okay, well, like, why is that? I really think that I think it's a couple of different things. One of them being the mindset there is to enjoy your life, and you're not constantly worried about like how much money you're making, if you are climbing the corporate ladder, those type of things. But I think it also is the small things in every day where you walk around and there are just so many people and the streets are just full of life. It's really hard coming back to the United States where there's only a small percentage of cities that are like that. I obviously have thought about going back. It's just hard for me to justify it because my logic is always going to be like, your family is here. Then I just like reminisce on my times in Spain, which obviously were not perfect at all. I know that in the imminent future, like right now, I know that I am going to be in Florida for at least like, I would say this school year up until like May or June. So I need to make the most of my time here, focus on that. But I'm just having a really, really hard time feeling motivated, I guess. Like, I have things that I'm working on, I have jobs that I'm applying to, but it's really hard for me to feel motivated. And I know that anytime I feel that way, I'm like, it's not about motivation, it's about discipline, dedication, and consistency. But still, it like doesn't feel great when you're not motivated. You don't feel excited. I think that's the thing. It's like I apply for these ed tech jobs, I look into jobs that are here, and I just don't feel excited. I feel like I'm being very strict with myself in the sense of I do not want to be making any big decisions about moving anywhere at this time when I'm feeling very emotional, because I have in the past made decisions like that about where to live when I was feeling super emotional, and in the end I don't think they were the right decision. Like, not that they weren't the right decisions, I learned stuff from them, but I think that looking back on it, I wish I would have taken more time to come to a good decision, which is why I am really trying to just focus on how I feel and what I need and how I'm gonna get through these next couple of months. It causes me a lot of stress and a lot of feelings of anxiety, anxious thoughts, and all of those things. And I'm trying not to be too hard on myself, but at the same time, I'm like, dude, like, you gotta get it together. You gotta figure something out. I'm getting ready because I need to go to get cash in whatever the currency is that they use in Bali, because I want to have some just emergency cash just in case. I also can't go yet though because someone is coming to fix our dishwasher. But I was like, okay, well, I'll get ready, and then once they're here, I'm gonna work on editing some vlogs, maybe apply for some jobs. Also was wanting to record a podcast episode today because I am going to be gone for a month. I woke up around like 10, which is really not like me, which is why I say I'm like, I need to get myself together and just feel better. And I don't know, even like when I get back, I might try to do like the 75 soft. I need like some sort of something to get me going. And then like I watch these videos that are like, oh, like when your life falls apart, it's because you're like becoming someone different and it's all like gonna look up, and it's just hard when you're like in the trenches of it to think very positively. Anyways, we're not gonna be sad this whole vlog, which is actually why I pulled out my camera, because I always am more productive when I vlog. I think it's just nice to share my feelings on here so that if you are going through something similar, you know that you're not alone and that it is totally okay to have days where you're not feeling good or motivated. I think it's really hard, and something that people don't talk about a lot, like when you're in your 20s, is just the trying to figure out your direction and where you want to be, where you want to live, like how you want your future to be set up, what you want things to look like. I feel like also because it is so gloomy outside this morning, I just am not coping well with that. Running through the to-dos for today, I obviously want to go get my cash. I do really want to film or record a podcast episode. I really want to read more of my yoga book before I go, because I'm not going to bring like the physical copy one that I have just because I'm very limited on space. I need to make sure I'm like pretty much packed for Bali so that I'm ready to go. And I also need to look into the entry requirements for Australia. There were a bunch for Bali that like you needed to have stuff done, and like QR codes for when you get to the airport, and all of like a tourist tax that you have to pay, and all these random things. I think that this trip is coming at a really good time. I feel like I'm gonna cry a lot, just like emotional release. I told you guys, like I even feel like I'm like tearing up now. I've just been feeling so extremely emotional. I feel like this is like welcome to the life of being a girl, because I really do believe in the fact that like what you think is what manifests, and the things that you put time into, those are the things that manifest. But I'm having a hard time because I'm like, okay, well, what is it that I want to manifest? I just need to be manifesting like that I'm going to figure it out, and that I'm gonna be happy and like build a life that I love, even though I don't know what that looks like yet. I just have to like keep believing that that is going to happen. I feel like my brain is all over the place in this vlog.